Today's topic: debunking why Mansa Musa was white. Let's get started. Claim 1. DNA tests show that the Mandinka are 8% to 15% Berber, North African, and Eurasian DNA. Therefore, they must have been white. This is a laughable claim that's built upon a false assumption fallacy. You're assuming that Eurasian immediately means white passing, and that all North African Berbers are white passing. Both of these assumptions are false. Not only are there brown-skinned, dark curly-haired Berbers, but there are also dark brown people in South Asia, Southeast Asia, Melanesia, and Southern Arabia. Claim 2. Angelino Dulcert depicted Mansa Musa as white, therefore he must have been white. Again, this is a hilarious claim that's being held up by a false assumption fallacy. You're assuming that Dulcert knew what Mansa Musa looked like, and you're also assuming that Dulcert is right because his depiction is old. Both assumptions are false and fallacious. Dulcert never met Mansa Musa, and the age of his depiction doesn't prove anything about its truthfulness. If we actually read sources from people who did know Mansa Musa, like the Arabs, we would know that he was described as a black, dark-skinned African. Claim 3. Kush and Nubia were not of sub-Saharan African DNA. They have ties to Europe and the Middle East. Can you stop being fallacious for one moment? They have ties to those locations because they mixed with people from those locations, not because they were secretly Eurasian. You would have known this if you actually learned history for more than 8 seconds. Claim 4. Ancient Ethiopian churches show blonde angels, swastikas, Templar crosses, and double-headed eagles, and DNA tests show that Ethiopians have Eurasian admixture. The fact that you think any of this supports your Eurocentric ideologies is actually funny. First of all, the cross symbol that the Templars used and popularized already existed in Christendom long ago. It wasn't created by the Templars, it was just popularized by them. Hopefully you know the difference. Secondly, swastikas are not unique to white or white-passing civilizations. They can be found all over the world. Thirdly, blonde hair does not immediately prove whiteness. From what we can tell, it was merely an aesthetic choice to represent glowing radiance. If you wanted to represent the modern concept of whiteness, and nothing but the modern concept of whiteness, then it's your burden to prove that it only represents such a thing. Lastly, a civilization having statues or paintings of double-headed eagles doesn't prove anything about their ethnicity. It's a common symbol in Christendom and was used by the Christian allies of the Ethiopian Christians, so the Ethiopian Christians naturally picked it up as well. Oh, by the way, some of you want to cherry-pick Ethiopian kings who were depicted with lighter skin tones to prove your point. No worries, I can apply the exact same cherry-picking methodology. To my left, you can clearly see an Ethiopian king who looks like the average modern Ethiopian. In conclusion, this hilarious theory was backed up by nothing else except for false assumptions and false connections. This theory is finished.